Morning, everybody. It's Dr. Kenton Wakes Up. I'm Dr. Kenton. It's an early one today. It's 7:36 a.m. I have to get Winston. I have to shower and do all that stuff, and then get to Winston's vet appointment in about an hour from now. So, doing a little earlier than I would normally. In the cup today is Mayorga Cubano Roast. It's pretty tasty. If you see the 18-pound bag at Costco. So today's Wednesday. Wednesday's hump day, if you're into that. So make sure to wish your hump day friends a happy hump day. Let me see if I can do this. Probably not. Happy hump day, Alice. If you've ever been a Boy Scout or Girl Scout or any kind of campfire activity, you probably heard the Alice the Camel song. It's one of those repetitious ones. Repetitious. And it starts off with Alice has 3 humps, and then 2, and then 1. And then none. And then you hear the grand reveal at the end. I won't spoil it. So I have a friend who I wish happy hump day every week, and we both know the song, so we call each other Alice. If we're the first one to do it, we don't say happy hump day Alice back. No. It's like the reward for getting it done early, so you get to say Alice. You remember the TV show Alice? Vic Tayback, Linda Lavin, a lady named Flo who used to say kiss my grits, which sounded a little, I don't know, racy. Ordinarily, Wednesday's the day when I would I gotta stop saying what's ordinary because it seems like it's changing. So anyway, today it's gonna be working from home and doing the things I need to do to get ready for the second half of the semester. I think I closed the door on the course that I was asked to revise. I handed in the final edits of that. This is an interesting tidbit for me anyway, because I usually don't do this kind of thing. But as you may know, if you're watching this from far in the future, maybe you've forgotten, but we're about 10 days into. Yeah, today's the 9th day of President number 47's term, and I think that his attitude is that he's going to do everything through executive order. And most of his early executive orders have been about curtailing payments. So this is where I hesitate to say what I want to say, because his approach seems targeted and heavy-handed, but its implementation is almost entirely ham-handed and broken and easily fended off. So take that for whatever you want. But he intended, as you know, in the I've never made a mistake in my life, it's always someone else screwing up underneath me that's messing this. What I intended, I'm acting as if I'm him now. What I intended was to stop these inessential payments, not the ones that would interfere with somebody's Medicaid or back to school stuff or school lunch or things like that. Basically, the stuff that everybody got up in arms about, because there's a lot of people affected by Medicaid and school lunch programs and so on and so on. And they're like, hey, what's going on here? And then he has to back off and try to lie, offer a ridiculous excuse like, well, I didn't know that shutting down the Medicaid portal was going to prevent payments to people. So anyway, we're dealing with that kind of thing. And so there's just a volume of them. A volume. I don't remember what the number is. Somewhere north of 100, I think. Just a torrent, a flurry. And people are getting nervous. He actually also said that he's going to discharge everybody who's in the military who's listed as transgender. It's just a lot. Sorry. A lot of these federal payments, they don't directly affect a university. They indirectly affect. So, for example, if somebody in our university was engaged in National Institutes of Health research or applying for a grant, they may be the ones that are directly affected because those payments aren't processing. And the I don't quite understand why. The money's there. The money's been allocated. The money's been approved by Congress, and the executive branch is required by law to disperse the money. But of course, the president thinks he's smarter and says that the requirement that the money be paid out is unconstitutional. I don't understand how they figure that. The money comes from Congress. Congress approves it being spent, and the executive's job is to distribute it. And the executive is saying that it's not fair that the Congress gets to decide. That's right there in the Constitution, like Article 1. It's the first branch that was established was the legislature. I think probably on purpose. So anyway, it's just, there's a flurry of confusion and disarray. So I sent an email, getting back to the main point, I sent an email to the provost and asked, given all this, all these executive orders and all the chaos and confusion, and especially for myself, since I'm the parent of a person who might likely be, pursued, if not persecuted, I'd like to know how Towson's going to react to these and what they're going to do. And I got a response eventually. The provost thanked me for sharing my concerns, and then basically said, and this is not a criticism, I just have to summarize it, basically saying, we're looking into all the issues and we'll get back to you when we have the ability to update everybody. Okay. If I had a no-holds-barred administratives translation podcast, I would have a different thing to say about what's being said, but that's sufficient. Especially since about an hour later, 2 hours later, The governor of the state issued a statement to the entire state, through whatever social media, basically saying the same thing. We're looking into all the particulars, and we'll get back to you when we have something more to say. My confidence is not higher. And I'm not expecting somebody to say, it's going to be all right, Dr. Kenton. Don't worry about it. Everything's going to be fine. We've got you. It's not the kind of response I'm expecting or hoping for. It'd be nice to know that the people who are in power or empowered kept the population, the hoi polloi, the rabble, us, up to date. Basically just laying it out. Say, hey, if you've been paying attention to the news, you'll know that there's been, scores. So we'll use the hoity-toity word. There have been scores of executive orders released that would tend to affect the things that happen here on the university level. At this point, it's not clear how all of them in their entirety are going to affect what happens on campus, but we're working on it with our partners, and once we have determined with more certainty what's going to happen, we'll be back in touch. Basically say, we know what's going on, we hear the same concerns as you, and we share them, and can't say anything just yet because we're not for certain what any of it actually means. It may say this, and then tomorrow they tell us it means that. Or it may say, death to tyrants on one day, and then the next day they say, well, we didn't mean death to tyrants. We meant comfy chair for tyrants. That's a joke about the motto of the state of Virginia, merged with Monty Python. And maybe it didn't work, but I'm here trying. It's Wednesday morning early, and I gotta get myself ready so I can take my dog to his vet appointment. Alright, well, anyway, today's Wednesday. Happy hump day. Oh, jeez. Today is Wednesday, January 29th, 2025. Finally said it. And I hope you have a great day. Love you, bye.